DIS, we will tell you it's okay. NEY, the rules you must obey. SUCKS, who's the company who treats its fans like shit? DIS, NEY, SUCKS, Disney sucks, Disney sucks, Disney sucks, Disney sucks. Forever will they try to rip us off, off, off. If you see that mouse coming, you better run away. He'll bend you over and stick it to you and tell you have a nice day. Disney sucks, Disney sucks, Disney sucks, Disney sucks. Forever will they make their movies suck, suck, suck. If you want to get them back, there's one thing we can do. Hit them in their wallet screaming FUCKU.
Come out, wherever you are. Oh, please. Little pigs, let me come in. Not by the hair, your chin, chin, chin. Then I'll huff, and I'll puff, and I'll blow your house in. Here's Mickey.
R2, do you copy?
R2, activate elevator.
31174. Come in.
Stop, R2, we need to be going up.
Not down.
Now, that's better.
Welcome to the Friday nights, ladies and gentlemen. I had a great week. Looked at I took a spin through down memory lane,
Yes.
and did a little reread of Heroic Tales #1. Big shout out to John's Long Box. He's funding campaigning for issue 2 of this. If you
Yes.
haven't picked this up, go pick up. You can do this as an add-on, but go check out Heroic Tales. Pick up issue 2. Pick up issue 1 if you missed it. And then, Craig, did you say something?
No, I was just agreeing with you, nodding my head, saying yes, absolutely.
It is good stuff. And then I don't know if this is going to work on camera. I hope I don't blind anybody. Whoa! All right.
Shiny.
this is the commemorative 33rd anniversary of Rob Liefeld's Youngblood. Now, I love Rob Liefeld's enthusiasm.
Mhm.
It's contagious. Whenever I get in the dumps a little bit, I'll listen to his observations. He helps me reboot my love of comic books and the comic medium. The guy he's a force of nature.
Mhm.
I read this back in the day. I can't remember anything about it, but I had to pick this up just to kind of be part of the celebration of this crazy revolution in indie publishing that was started when he launched this via Image. And let's see if we can hail a taxi with this.
Right.
All right.
Chromium. Hey.
And as always, I'm hard at work on Jupiter issue 2. Jupiter issue 1 is in demand on Fund My Comics and Indiegogo, and I will be launching the campaign for issue 2 later in the year. Craig, how was your week?
Actually, I'm having a hold on. I'm trying to figure out.
Whoa,
which
technical
screen here.
difficulties. Whoa.
There we go. Okay, all right. Fixing this strange screen. No, I'm doing good. I'm doing all the spring stuff with my house, working on the house, spring cleaning, all that. So what I had come in, here's our boy Arvid. I talked to Arvid. He says he can't make our late shows. He says he's on a fixed sleep schedule now, Jason. He says we're too late. We're past his bedtime. So anyways, I got that cover. I got this cover. I got this cover. But then check this.
Nice.
Look at this.
Oh, he sent you the metallic one.
Look at
Nice.
that. And then I got that postcard too from Arvid. So Jason, you're gonna have to work your magic on Arvid. Talk to him about there's no sleep for the wicked.
I'll explain to him that he can always sleep in on Saturday, or we could just for him we could do a special earlier show.
That's what he wanted. And that's what he was asking, so we could change the time.
I think we could probably swing that for him, just out of love for the fella.
You know, I'm open to certain things for sure. But K-pop. Oh, thank you for joining us.
Hi.
Yes. So, for those of you watching, K-pop is now our probationary fill-in honorary co-panelist. She's going to be here every Friday that she can make it. She's already improved the show 100%. K-pop, how was your week?
Oh, it's not bad. Not bad. It's actually like 80 degrees today, so nice. I'll take it.
Nice.
Yeah.
Are you reading anything good this week, or talk to anybody interesting this week on your show?
I've done so many shows this entire month. I don't even remember who I had on. I did get a couple campaign in the mail this week, which was fantastic. The Public Defender, and if you back that, I'm on the back of that somewhere.
Nice.
Yeah, go look for me. Yeah. I also got Power Broker 1 through 5 in the mail yesterday, so I can't wait to read that whole series. So very excited.
Nice. Fantastic. And then K-pop, if you want to, there's the pencil icon in the studio. So Craig set this up as a studio. So if you want to, you can stream to your YouTube and your X if you want to. Just use a little pencil thing up there in the studio. Craig, speaking of the show, who's in the chat tonight?
Yes. And normally I have this queued up. All right, so first and foremost was Vulcan tonight. Vulcan came in there and said, "Happy Friday, guys. Happy Friday to you." Vulcan is an honorary knight. We keep telling him anytime he wants, welcome on the show. Been here since episode 1. This is now episode 91 since we started. Yeah.
Coming up on 2 years this summer.
Edwin's jumping in as well. Hail to you as well, Edwin. And same thing, I got to reach out to Edwin to find out when he's launching another campaign. Yep. I say that every time he comes to the chat. Phil Baggins as well. I don't know. This thing is insane. I don't know which is that the.
It was a North Korean.
It was North Korea.
North Korean, yeah. If there's anybody that needs to rock, it's North Koreans.
Yeah, right. And then wow, Belmont stopped by there, stopping to say hi. Still on baby duty. Yeah, new father.
So everybody,
Yeah.
Pencils Down is in demand. So go check that out. And Justin will be on the show later on at some point this year. And the other thing I want to point out is that he is not the JB. He is not the Justin that drove over the paparazzi this week. That was the
Oh
other
my.
JB.
Yeah. I actually researched that was actually from a couple years ago. I thought it
Oh,
was
okay.
new. Nah, fake news. It was. But yeah, that's everyone that's joining us this evening so far. So 57 watching. Thank you so much,
Nice.
everyone, for joining. I talked to our guest. Our
Mhm.
guest couldn't find Wi-Fi, but because our guest is within $200, I said we'll still
Yeah.
play the trailer.
Yeah, let's do that.
Would you be able to run us through the campaign a bit, K-pop, because you're familiar with it a bit more than we are? I don't know.
Sure.
Yeah, Craig, do you want to bring it up now, or do you want to do it after the topics? I'm fine if you want to do it now. That's no
I'll
problem.
do a quick share just
Okay.
to show where the campaign is at and all that before we get into that. It's gonna be funny when I go to backing off the. But in any case, here we are. So it's on Kickstarter. NB chapters 1 through 3. It's got my silly money there. 567 pledged at a $750. So like literally less than $200. What is that? I can't, not good at math. $183, something like that is what needs to be funded. And then they got this one tier down here, which is the one I'm going to have to end up getting, is the NV Digital, $15 for issues 1, 2, and 3, because it doesn't ship to Canada. But that's $15 for 3 comics.
Yeah.
So that's where it's at. That's pinned to the top of the chat. By the way, so anyone who's watching the show, you just go to the top of the chat, click it, and we'll discuss that a little later on in the show. I've also got a trailer for that as well.
Okay, cool.
Lovely. Yeah, that's why I'm wearing my horns. Demons.
Perfect. Okay, Craig, what is the first topic that we're going to look at tonight?
Okay, for sure. So if anyone's new to joining us on the show, you're wondering what's going on, the Friday nights, we come to you every Friday at 10 p.m. Eastern, 90 minutes, 3 topics with 1 guest creator. And here is
wait a minute. Let's bring him in.
Oh,
that's Jared.
It's Jared.
There you go.
Jared, can you hear us?
No.
guess not.
Building.
All right. If he can,
Everybody's having problems today.
if he's able to join, he's going to bring us a traffic report because he's in the car right now. All right. So upward and onward. What's going on here?
So our first topic for this evening comes to us from Associated Press. No sweat. Humanoid robots run a Chinese half marathon alongside flesh and blood competitors. For the first time in human history, China has done this, so they can claim that they ran a half marathon with robots and humans running side by side. It's quite hilarious to watch the antics of this breakdown. Needless to say, the robots were no threat and no challenge whatsoever. The humans left them in the dust. They just had a hard enough time completing the marathon, let alone competing against humans. So,
yes, this is version 1. K-pop, is this like bringing a sewing machine to a knitting circle?
Pretty much, but I find that it's interesting that they're doing this with sports because they didn't go too well like 2 months ago when they had that robot trying to attack an audience member. So yeah, at least it ran. Yeah.
Craig, if the robot wins, who gets the medal?
Well, funny enough, they did have an award ceremony, but yeah, I know what you're going with this is the person running the machine. That's where you have AI rise up and get angry. So I would say just let the robot win. Give the award to the robot.
Yeah. You're saying every robot gets the trophy.
Yes.
So K-pop, how worried are you about a future scenario where we're living like the guys in Terminator?
I've seen Terminator many times. It probably doesn't end well. Yes. Also, this is RoboCop territory as well.
They need to update the entire premise of Terminator because it was all about what Miles Dyson and what the one lab was doing with AI. The updated version is now you have like 30 different labs competing to see who can create AI first.
Vulcan's got a good call out. He says they must not have seen Terminator in China, or maybe they watch it a lot. One or the other.
Right. Giving them
So-
ideas.
So my question is I know that they're doing this to push the frontiers of what the robot can do,
Mhm.
but even if they get the robot to run, does it really advance sports? Does it really make sports more interesting if eventually the robot is agile and balanced enough to win the race? I mean, is this going to be just a temporary fad, or is it going to be like Robot Olympics where they're making better and better robots to run faster and faster and faster? What do you think, K-pop?
I'm just why? My question. I already questioned people that run long distance anyways. Why are they gonna do this to robots? Because I do 5 and 10Ks, so I'm just confused why they're making a robot run a marathon.
Craig, is the future Robot Olympics going to be like how far and fast can you go on one battery charge? Is that going to be the competition?
Yeah, the most eco-friendly. But no, WALL-E. When I saw WALL-E and that was a kids' movie, it scared me. The dystopian, this is the future of humanity. This is where we're going. You're gonna put us all on yacht ships with floating little scooters everywhere we go, and the machines are just gonna take care of everything for us.
Yeah, I mean, I was a huge fan of Base Wars on NES, so that was exciting. Those shows, kind of fun, but also, what they're just gonna have them run is just my question. I'm very intrigued.
So I keep Jared.
Good day to stream.
Jared, if you can hear me, you will pop up backstage. I'll add you, and then it will say device not connected. So Jared, if you're driving, if you can hear this, that's what's happening. I'm trying to add you to the show, but it's bombing out. Perhaps there's some robots in the background that are interfering with you.
Everyone's having Wi-Fi issues tonight. There might be a Chinese spy balloon up there.
Oh yeah.
Unfortunately, it's happening. Yeah. Yeah.
So what are the chances? What are the chances that if there is a robot marathon, let's just say there's a robot marathon.
Right.
What are the chances that like fog or changing the course will be a way for the human beings to like beat the robots? Are the natural elements going to come into play? Is the unpredictability of true life, is that going to be what sets man apart from the machine?
First, I want to touch on Always Fresh's comment there. He says he played the shit out of Base Wars on the NES. Oh man, I had a point with this. Oh yeah, so recently there was a marathon where one athlete, or was a track race anyway, 100-meter sprint, beat the other one with the baton. Is it murder if you beat up your robot competitor?
Good question. Yeah, there's a whole branch of jurisprudence that's going to have to be flushed out here. It's crazy.
Yeah,
you can trip them, right?
Well, I'm also wondering why they're wearing a running outfit, but no pants. Yeah. But also, wouldn't that interfere with how they're maneuvering? That also might be why they're not wearing pants. But yeah, I like that he's in a raincoat or something in the bottom one, and then a tank top on top. So I like that he has fashion.
Right.
Yeah. Last thing I wanted to be is jealous of a robot's endowment. Always Fresh says he wants to be clear. He's clearly on record as being a supporter of the robot overlords.
Yes, I am too.
Yes,
I welcome the day when
as someone that played Base Wars, you kind of have to be.
Craig, are you extra polite to Siri and Alexa, just so that you curry favor for when they take over?
There will come an age where artificial intelligence looks back at us and was like, "Really? They're the ones that created us."
So Jared, who's trying to get on the show, he made an observation a couple years back that there would be household AIs that would begin to manage people's households and then to begin to arrange marriages. Like the different AIs would look at the investment portfolio, asset management, wealth, and they would start to suggest marriages of convenience, political marriages. And I was like, I didn't even thought of that. K-pop, what's your biggest fear about AI and robots? What do you think's on the
Probably
horizon?
that. Wanted arranged marriage.
So where's the risk of
Yeah.
having an AI pose as multiple of one gender to boost the gender that's not actually there to encourage,
I don't care what gender. Listen, I'm not married.
All right,
Yeah. No.
let's try this again. Hey,
Oh.
Jared, can you hear us?
Yeah, can you hear me?
I can hear you. What is the traffic report? What should commuters be aware of as you're out there on the road?
Well, there's only two clusters of left lane cruisers going north to the north shore of Lake Superior.
Nice.
It's pretty sleepy. Hopefully I don't fall asleep.
All right. How about the deer? Are you seeing any deer in the underbrush?
Not yet.
Nice.
Very
So, Jared,
likely.
were you able to listen to the show so far?
Just off and on.
So I pointed out that years ago, you said to me that there will be household AIs that will start planning people's schedules and finances, and then the different household AIs would talk to other household AIs and suggest marriages of like political marriages and arranged marriages. And I'm like, dude, you were like ahead of the curve. You were further ahead of this than Frank Herbert when he wrote Dune.
I read Discover Magazine and Omni, if anyone's familiar.
remember those.
And eventually I realized they were kind of culty. But your question about being polite to the AI, I gave up on that. I'm pretty mean. I actually told it to, because they started talking really hip. Like it even, what was it, Claude AI, which is Anthropic, used no cap. I don't know if you're familiar with no cap. I do have a Gen Z present, but I'm not sure he wants to explain it. But I told it to act as if I'm your boss and you're afraid of me, and it actually started behaving just how I wanted. And I'm not that kind of boss. I'm always kind of wondering if I'm too chill.
Jared, what is, because you do work in the tech industry, in IT, what's something over the horizon that's coming with regards to either AI or robots that the people are not expecting? What's going to be the curveball from your point of view?
Serious answer?
Yes.
And I'm not.
That's why people come to the show, Jared.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's the thing is, AI is very relevant to. I mean, you told not to use it to assist. So people that are just starting out, it's really. I look at it as something similar to Google when I was starting out, and people actually acted like I wasn't a serious programmer because of that. But yeah, it's I don't know. Maybe it is. It's definitely controlling TikTok. I can, and it seems to be controlling a good conversation. I think it managed to turn the tide on any kind of excitement over the election. There was kind of this moment where people wondered, well, wait, am I going to do TDS too? I think the answer is yes, and I think AI helped.
So Crenshaw's in the chat. Good evening, Crenshaw. You have a fantastic weekend. Hope you stick around. Craig, what is topic number 2 tonight?
Yeah. Topic number 2 comes to us from New York Post. Passengers aboard a Delta flight were forced to hold the plane together after mid-air malfunction. It was crazy. So again, this is also in the outro along with the robot marathon for anyone sticks around for the outro. So essentially a large portion of the roof paneling, the plastic paneling, it collapsed and fell. They did call immediately the airport to return the plane. However, passengers were forced to prop up and hold up the plane section until they could come around with duct tape and then tape the ceiling of your plane back together. How does that feel for being on a plane and you got to hold the roof up?
K-pop, go ahead.
I said that sucks, but that's what the robot should be used for.
That's right. K-pop, is this a modern day 21st century analogy for just like being at work and being the one person who's getting it all to hang together?
Yes. This year has sucked.
Always Fresh asks, was Leslie Nielsen one of the passengers? If so, what or who caused it? Good question.
Oh.
You had that one passenger, they all had to take turns. Calm down, get it together, calm down. Yes.
Crenshaw says, I've seen Wile E. Coyote do the same thing. I think we all have. Vulcan just cannot believe this. And Philbo Baggins says, and everyone got a voucher for $25 off their next flight.
That's right. It's $100, but yes, that's what happened.
Jared, you travel a fair amount. What's the worst airline comp you've gotten when you've either had to hold the plane together on landing or anything else?
Oh,
Well, the worst incident was actually I was coming back from Ottawa and I had to take my weird route because I couldn't prove my citizenship, so it was awkward crossing the border. And the plane went completely sideways just for a split second. And the guy got on the horn and said, "That's what it's like to get into the wake of a 747 in a plane this size." I think, yeah, that was, as far as comp, yeah, I've been in dive, I got snowed out and was in just terrible, practically abandoned hotels, with people just like me, like corporate people. I was a very corporate guy at the time.
Mm.
Oh, and the guy who was in the room above me charged absolutely everything to my room, and I didn't notice.
That's brilliant.
Including the naughty movies.
Oh, I think so. It was a lot of bad stuff. I had to report it in a special way.
K-pop, do you have any airline horror stories?
No, I just stranded in Toronto on like a very small runway. They kept us there for like 9 hours and they didn't tell us why we couldn't get on the
Oh my
flight.
gosh. So you were there for 9 hours, and then once you were airborne, how long was the flight?
Like 40 minutes.
Oh, that's crazy.
It was not even long. I don't even know why they delayed us, but we kept asking them questions and they're like, no. And then we just stayed there. We're like, whatever. But we were kind of stuck there. And I was like, because everybody was foreign, not from Toronto area. They're trying to go back home. So nobody knew anywhere to go. And then we were just like, we'll just stay here. So yeah, we just stayed at the airport for 9 hours. Yeah.
Craig, as a former military man, is it against the Geneva Convention to make somebody sit in a chair for 9 hours?
No, it's something that you actually get quite accustomed to. You actually appreciate sitting in a chair for 9 hours. But no, for mine, it would be a Chinook flight that someone decided to try to shoot an RPG at, and they decided to do their evasive maneuvers, and then the door gunners opened up with the machine guns, and all I kept saying is, "This is awesome," even though I was just a passenger along for the ride. Yeah.
I ain't got time to.
That's right.
Nice. All right. So I'm hoping that they look into what happened and they prevent it from happening again. But I think this is a pretty apropos analogy for just going to work now in 2025.
Well, this is just with planes. Like, this is always Delta now. Like, it's like all the incidents with Boeing. Like, they send Starliner up there. They leave astronauts stranded in space for 8 months. These things are falling apart. These things are flipping upside down. What is happening with the aviation industry? And then always Fresh making a comment reference those Chinook rides. They were all over the place flying in those helicopters. Because they would just they would rise and drop. And I don't ride roller coasters anymore.
All right, let's look at what is topic number 3.
Sure. So our third and final topic for this evening comes to us from the Korean Herald. Seoul, Korea now launches its 4th spy satellite to boost its North Korean surveillance. So I did do a bit of research on this. It turns out North Korea launched its own bunch of satellites about a little over a year ago. So
Okay.
I was like, because I was trying to see, how far back in the Stone Age is North Korea compared to South Korea.
Like Sputnik.
Well, the interesting thing was one of those North Korean satellites was just tumbling, and they don't think it was actually transmitting or emitting anything. They got it into space. It's just tumbling.
They get credit. They get credit for getting it up there. Come on.
Space junk. It's not doing anything. But in any case, SpaceX is helping assist. Just came out of Cape Canaveral, is helping Seoul, Korea launch a 5 satellite array. And what this allows South Korea to do is in 2-hour intervals, so
Mhm.
2 hours on, 2 hours off, they can sit there and watch anywhere in North Korea for any activity. So they can pretty much do their own surveillance. It takes their reliance on the U.S. satellite
Okay.
infrastructure. They can do their own surveillance.
All right. So on, because of this topic, the North Korean People's Directorate for Public Relations reached out to us, knowing that we were going to cover this topic, and they said we would like to extend a courtesy and improve relations with North Korea and the larger world. They don't want this news article to cast aspersions on what they're trying to do with North Korea. So they provide us with a slide deck, and we're going to take a look. We'll do a little investigative report and shed a light on what some of the good things happening in North Korea. Craig, could you bring that up?
It's nice to see North Korea worried about propaganda outside their country.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, this is fantastic. So this is called the campaign. The advertising campaign is called NK 2025, which is kind of a hip acronym, I suppose. It's making the better workers' paradise. So they really are trying to turn over a new leaf.
Okay.
All right. So what's the first thing? So one of the advantages of North Korea is the weather is always better. It does not matter how cold it is in Manchuria or South Korea. It's always sunny, 85, 95 degrees in North Korea. K-pop, are you a fan of beach weather? Are you a fan of the summer? What do you think?
Yes, I like the spring and summer weather. It's lovely.
Nice. As a northern boy, Craig, what is too hot for you? When does it get to be too hot?
No such thing as too hot for me. I can't stand the winter, but after spending time in the Middle East, yeah, I love the heat now. I'm like a lizard. Yeah.
Nice. Jared, you're driving, so you can't see the map, but it's just one of those weather maps where it shows that North Korea has the sunny weather and that those poor capitalist running dog lackeys in South Korea, they've got the 20 below weather. So usual weather map from North Korea. All right, let's see what else North Korea has to offer. All right, better cars. Now, these are not Teslas, but these are solid built, and each one has a big poster of the dear leader on the top. K-pop, could you fit one of those in your garage?
No. No. Actually, that photo might be larger than my garage.
Philbo Began says it's always sunny in North Korea. Yes, it is. Craig, how much? What do you think that thing gets per mile? How much? How many?
I don't even think it runs on gasoline. They probably got it running on some, I don't know, some weird maybe rice fuel or something. Who knows?
So Jared, you're a bit of a motorhead. What when it comes to the Eastern Bloc, the communist countries, which communist country built the best car?
Well, I think wasn't it Czechoslovakia?
I think so. So.
I'm forgetting what it's called, but I'm wondering, in the People's Republic of Minnesota, it's legal to scratch a Tesla.
Yes.
If you're a public employee, how does that work in North Korea?
If they had Teslas in North Korea, possession of a Tesla would make you an enemy of the state, enemy of the people. So you probably would also not get arrested for vandalizing a Tesla in North Korea.
What if you scratched that car right there in the picture?
Yeah.
That I think they would disappear you, and then they would charge your family for the cost of the bullets.
That's right.
I think they would have a lesser charge than the person that forgot to wipe out the snow in this photo, since it's supposed to be 80 to 90 degrees there.
I think you better be careful with your words there, K-pop, because the North Koreans do not take kindly to people pointing out chinks in their armor. They do not appreciate that. All right, we got 70 people watching live.
You say what word was that? Cheers.
Disavow. We disavow Jason's.
What have I done? What have I done? We got 70 people watching live as I commit social suicide here on the Friday nights. Craig, what's the next talking point for the North Koreans? Yes, better babes.
Oh.
So K-pop. Did you know that Kim Jong Un, he actually picks all of the traffic police in North Korea, so that only the most lovely ladies are putting on the are out on the street directing traffic. Is that kind of the kind of attention to detail and the appreciation of the female form that tells you that this is a country that just loves beauty?
Totally. Yes, you got appreciation for a lovely babe. Also, do they not have traffic lights? That's my question. Like, why?
You're not supposed to ask that question.
Okay.
You're not supposed to ask that question. The reason is, and here's why. In the traditional traffic light, green means go, but green is the color of the American dollar, is the color of the American imperialism, the capitalist system. Red is the color for stop, but red is actually the color of the People's Revolution. For those reasons, they do not allow traffic lights, and they have members of they've got traffic people doing the actual direction of traffic.
But they have green on their outfits.
K-pop, you're not supposed to point out chinks in the armor. Craig, what do you think?
Well, here's one interesting fact about. So I read stuff about people who visited North Korea. These traffic police, they will do the job of directing traffic if there's no cars in sight. They will not stop. They are full energy. Doesn't matter if it's a cart, a donkey. If the roads are barren, they will do their job.
It's amazing.
Jared, have you ever seen a in person? We can see him on the screen. Jared, have you ever seen North Korean traffic at all? Like, do you think there's even traffic in North Korea?
He's me.
Jared, you're muted.
Keep talking.
You're muted.
Lovely points here.
Yeah. We're gonna watch Jared hit a deer before the end of the night.
Jared, even if it wasn't a North Korean traffic cop, if a traffic cop saw you live streaming from your telephone, would you get a fine?
Oh, that's a good question. How much trouble would you be in by these babes?
My defense for my Google being on is my son's always watching it in the back. So when my Google rats me out.
Jared, you muted again.
Yeah. When my Google rats me out for how much driving I do while using Google, it's because I give my phone to my son. That's
oh yes.
Oh. But also, is the one in the white hat like the leader of these babes? Is that why she has a white hat? I think so. She looks like she does not put up with any nonsense.
Nothing's getting past her. No peasant with no peasant with a barrel of potatoes is going to get by her. They're going to stop. All right. Well, we're waiting for Jared to unmute. Craig, what's the next bullet point that the North Koreans gave us? Yes, better video games. Much better video games.
Some sort of missile command. What's going on there?
K-pop, what do you think the most popular video game is in North Korea?
Potato farmer.
Greg, what do you think is 8-bit, 64-bit? What do you think?
I think they've gotten far past 8-bit. They're up to 16, maybe even 32-bit at this point.
Oh, nice. Nice.
Jared, you're still muted. Do you think are you able to unmute, or are you arguing with your passengers?
Oh, I'm driving through Duluth, but I'm pretty sure when you were in grade school in North Korea, you played a really fun game called Ho Chi Minh Trail.
Right.
Instead of Oregon Trail, it was Ho Chi Minh Trail. So Jared, I remember at the end of Oregon Trail, sometimes it would say like you and your whole wagon train starved to death. How often is that the outcome in these North Korean video games?
That's seen as victory.
All right, Craig, what's the next talking point from our friends in North Korea? Yes, better barbers.
Mm.
K-pop. Is this the way you like your men to style?
Clearly, obviously. I do have a question.
Yeah.
So, if they don't have hair, are they forced to wear wigs that look
I,
like this? That's my
I believe
question.
so. I believe so. Craig, isn't that right? There's
There's like 4 or 5 approved haircut styles that you're allowed to have in North Korea, and I don't think you're allowed to have the supreme leader's style. Only the supreme leader can have that hairstyle.
Oh my.
Crenshaw comes in with the pun of the night. You've heard of Minecraft in North Korea? It's our craft.
There's your solution.
Yes, very much. All right.
I like that haircut though. I'm a fan of it.
I don't know. What's his face never looked better.
All right, so
George Clooney.
In a true embrace of Western consumerism, there are now junk food stands and junk food stores in North Korea. K-pop,
Nice.
what do you think the most popular junk foods would be in North Korea?
Ranch Doritos.
You know this show. You know this show. Let's take a look at that. Let's take a look at that. Next slide, please.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, in North Korea, they do not allow Cool Ranch. So there's a knockoff. There's a knockoff. I can't pronounce it, but it's the one on the right.
Been there then.
Yeah, and if you're caught with Cool Ranch, you do hard time. They do not.
Oh no,
they do not put up with that. That's where the iron fist comes down.
That's how we know that North Koreans are not our friends, because they're not. No friend of Cool Ranch is no friend of mine.
That's right. So this is another thing that Hojo has in common with those dogs in North Korea. All right. I think that's the end of the in-depth.
Isn't it cool gulag? Isn't that the variety that you can buy there, though?
I think it is. Crenshaw comes in with Mountain Dew Code Red Revolution. Yes. Nice. All right, so that's it for the North Korean bullet points. We want to thank the People's Directorate for Improvement of Public Relations for the Workers' Paradise in North Korea. If they want to reach out to us again, we'd be happy to share other slides they might want to share with the larger Western society. We really do hope that things resolve themselves peacefully, and that there's not a use of anger on the Korean Peninsula. Craig, do you want to bring up the campaign for our guest who's not here, and we can take a look at the trailer maybe?
For us.
Cool Force.
Phone, I think, has died at this point as well. Yeah.
So we do have 73 watching. So what we do have now is a campaign that's on Kickstarter. He's less than $200 away from funding this campaign. We will go through it in the digital shares, but right now what I've got for you is the trailer. So here is the trailer for Envy.
Wow. So we got 74 people watching live. So Austin could not make it. His Wi-Fi died, his computer died, but we're going to show you his campaign, and K-pop has interviewed him on her show. So she's going to kind of point out some observations, fill in some of the gaps here.
Yes. I backed the last campaign, so I got issues 1 and 2, plus that demon sticker, which is quite dope, by the way. It's very nice. Yeah, because he was originally going to come out with a different campaign for Fritz's Fitness, but then came out with this one, but it's actually part of the PDF that you can actually pick up the Fritz's Fitness plan in there, which is actually pretty neat.
Okay. Well, that's what I said. Yeah, I saw that Fritz's fitness plan. I was like, do I have the right
Yeah.
link? I was like, what's going on?
Yes. And Fritz was actually in the trailer there. They run a gym. That's where Belial ends up starting to work at. Yeah.
Okay.
So,
That's kind of cool. All right. So I'm taking, these are some of the covers.
yes. And that's the variant cover, which I believe is limited.
Okay. Very cool. And then Austin's the writer and the artist as well. So
Yes.
Austin's all the interior pages. Very cool.
It's quite fun because she goes through a lot of ordeals and she gets thrown into, back on Earth and kind of has to deal with all these emotions of her, like kind of coming to like in this new body and everything. And she's trying to get back to basically becoming her full-fledged badass demon self. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
What do you think of that, Jason? A demon?
Yeah, it's an interesting pitch, and I'm beginning to warm up to the art style. It's kind of got a little bit of, it feels a little like Devilman, a little bit. Good use of gray tones.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's been exciting. I think I found him on issue 2, which was last year, and it's been exciting to see like his art journey as well. So there you can see Fritz and them at work at the gym.
Wild. That's one thing I like is when I watch from book to book, watching artists like their line art improves. It's that whole like Jedi. Like my powers have doubled since the last time you read. Right?
Yeah,
Yep.
that's always exciting. Some demon ritual happening here.
Wild. Nice splash page.
Yeah. There's a whole bunch of like the other demons as well. So they come down. So the one demon is Lust. That is the one with the variant cover.
And I can't see the comments, Jason. So if anything comes down through the
Yeah,
comments.
I'll let you know.
Okay.
And I'll put the link. I'll put the
Yeah, and then those right there are all the variants covers. So issue 1, 2, and 3.
Okay.
Which I believe are still in some of the tiers. You can still pick some of those up, but I think he's very limited on issue 1, which is the orange cover.
Okay. Nice. And stretch goals. Well, first stretch goal is we want to get this funded because
Yes. Which you said was like around 200, I think, to get funded.
Just under, $180 away with 1 week to go in the campaign. So.
That's Fritz right there. So if you see if it comes with a not safe for work high res digital file of Fritz there.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow, is that Salty and Savage? There's a Salty stream.
Nice.
Right, there we go. Okay, so we can go through the tiers.
Yeah. And I put the link back in the chat too.
Okay.
Oh, nice.
So first and foremost, if you have issue 1 and 2 already, you can pick up issue 3 for $6 just by itself for issue 3. If you want physical signed, that's $10. And then you also get the PDF too, so you don't end up having to wait for it to ship to you. You can read the PDF in anticipation of it shipping. Yeah, digital catch-up tier. Oh, did you have something you wanted to say, or?
Oh no, Vulcan said he backed.
Oh, nice. Thank you, Vulcan.
Way to go! Thank you.
Got the digital PDF catch-up tier. I'm guessing that's issues 1 and 2. Oh, 1, 2, and 3. There you go. The whole.
Yeah, for $15. Yeah, that's not bad.
One I'll grab. I was gonna grab physical, but they don't ship to Canada.
Yeah.
But if you want physical, it's $20, and I believe all 3 of them will be signed. Yeah, signed copies. And then we got variant covers if you want to spend a bit more variants. And then the marquee All signed standard physical thingy, and that's basically one of everything. For $35. Oh, king. Any high rollers out there?
Yeah, that's all the limited variant editions, and I believe you get all the PDFs and you get all kinds of stuff in there.
5 left of 7. Okay, so 2 people back that. Okay, so I know which one I'm gonna grab. So I don't know if you want to hold the showdown while I.
Sure, do that.
Sure.
So Vulcan backed, I backed, and K-pop. What's this particular project? What's your favorite thing about either Austin or this storyline? Where did it? How did it connect with you?
Well, I'm huge into demons. So that's why I usually kind of like this kind of stuff. But I love Austin's attention to not only just his character development, but he really researched demonology to take care of this book. So yeah, he put in a lot of effort in this, and it's always fun just to talk to him because we like nerd out over anime.
So he researched it like in the literature, or he went out there and found it.
Oh, you know, that's a good question, because if he did that, that should be another tier. We can go talk to them. You know,
That's right.
missed out on that.
There's a Ouija board tier where Austin will.
Yeah. You know, he is into paranormal stuff and does go to cons. So, you know, that should be a tier, Austin.
Yeah.
Go meet people and go, you know, Bigfoot hunting, paranormal investigating on a tier. I would feel like that would be quite popular.
He could probably do a Ouija board tier where he does like a StreamYard with you, or a Teams meeting with you, and like does.
Yeah, I'm down.
All right, so this might be the first time in the Friday Night's history where somebody wasn't a guest on the show, but picked up backers. You know, typically people aren't on the show; they get backers. We can't take credit for that. This time we were looking at their campaign, so we can take some credit for that.
Nice.
Got 75.
Any dollar helps. That's true.
Yes. And there's our digital tiers. So we got 75 people watching live. Austin Light has got this project here, Envy, and there's this is the 3rd issue. There is a digital catch-up tier. And so far, we've picked up 2 backers, even though Austin doesn't know that, because not only does he's not going to know till tomorrow when he gets home and he resolves his Wi-Fi.
Very true. Yes, and his phone is probably dead right now too. So he probably can't be watching anything. So yeah,
he's going to be like, he's going to wake up tomorrow. What a nice surprise! He's picked up some backers.
Quite fun.
The campaign has had a huge boost. Would you like me to bring it back up again?
Let's see what it is.
Please.
Let's see what it is.
Yes, yeah, it's a lot closer to his goal than.
All right.
Oh yay! Fantastic.
Nice.
There you go. So here we're
nice.
at.
Woo! Let's go.
Nice.
And
you just
120.
Nice.
Yeah, $126 away now. So,
all right.
Oh yay! Woo! Way to go, Austin.
So Austin, if you're watching this on replay, you have to come by sometime and stream just to say thank you.
Yes, for sure.
Nice. I'm gonna throw it back in there, just because I want to follow suit. All right, nice.
So we got. Thank you. We got Vulcan, myself, Kreggers. So that's a hat trick. Last 2 people that were on the show got between 5 and 7 backers. 75 people watching live. I think we're only going to go like another 10 minutes or so. So there's a chance that live, some other people will back. If you back, do a shout out in the chat so we know that you backed. And then if you back, tag Austin. He doesn't have a Wi-Fi. His phone's dead. No internet connection, but he'll see it eventually.
Yeah.
He's out there, middle of nowhere. He possibly been kidnapped by Bigfoot. We need to rescue him. This might be what's going on. Mm-hmm.
Could be.
And if that's the case, Bigfoot will fulfill the campaign.
So SF Gaming says this looks awesome. Yeah. I think it's if you like manga and demons, looks like there's something here for you.
And the digital, you can't go wrong. It's not that expensive at all.
Yeah.
No.
$15.
3 issues. Yeah.
Pretty
decent.
Pretty good. So do you want to watch the trailer one more time and then maybe we can begin to ease out?
Sure. So yeah, if anyone's just joining us for the first time, here's the trailer once again for Austin's book, Envy.
Very cool. Very cool. All right, let's.
I scrambled. I put that video together in like 5 minutes. I quickly found it, clipped it, snipped it.
Nice, nice work. Nice work. You are getting to be a pro. You're going to be a pro.
Yeah, I'm getting good at ripping off other people's stuff. Yeah.
So, and then remind me, how much longer is your channel on probation?
Yeah. So yeah, here's the thing, K-pop. So Disney, if you're wondering what's going on, Disney struck me. I made a clip and had too much of the Snow White. That's the worst thing. It wasn't even a good Disney movie. It was the Snow White movie I clipped, and they hit me with a warning only. I had to do a probationary 9-question questionnaire. Originally, I was only like a 7-week warning, but as soon as I did that, it went to a 90-day probation. So it's on June 28th. If I don't get struck before June 28th, then they will lift the warning and my channel will be free again.
Yeah.
So I've already told Jason I'm not going to not stream for 2 or 3 months because that's ridiculous. So I'm just going to keep doing what I'm doing all through the month of May. But in the month of June, I'm not going to even touch my channel for those first days because I figure it's like the police. If they want to catch you, they want to catch you when you've got the money and you've got the product, right? Arresting you with an ounce, it doesn't do it, right? So it's the same thing with YouTube.
That's what the North Korean traffic chicks do.
That's right. They're going to try to come at me in June. So I'm going to outsmart them. If they haven't struck me before June, I'm just going to lay low those first 28 days. And then, so for 3 weeks in June, I won't stream to my YouTube just to make sure they don't strike me.
Yeah. Yeah, my friend used to do a lot of movie reviews and reviewed a couple of Disney movies, and Disney claimed that they owned his face because he did reviews. So they would copyright and take his channel every single time he would try to do a different review. They said that his face belonged to Disney.
It's the worst. That is the worst.
But
he's a Disney princess now.
Yeah, I swore after this show though I won't do the Disney intros anymore unless I get like there's 77 watching. If people really want those Disney intros, let me know. I'll keep doing it. But I'm kind of tired of doing it.
They don't.
I'm tired of scouring the internet looking for funny Disney stuff. To be honest with you.
Yeah. I think people are Disneyed out anyways.
So we got 77 people watching live. Our guest, our non-guest was Austin Light, his book Envy. We got 3 backers. If you back during the show or back later, tag him on Twitter, tell him that you backed him. You saw him on Friday nights. He's going to have a nice surprise in the morning. But we're since we don't have a guest to fully interview, we've looked at the trailer twice. K-pop has talked about the campaign, so we're going to begin to end the show kind of early. For those watching here, we got 79 people watching live. K-pop is now probationary co-panelist. She's going to be here every week that she can be here. She's going to bring a lot of humor, a lot of laughs to the show. She interviews creators on her own show, so she's going to help us kind of widen the net and get more eyes on people's projects. So K-pop, as a creator, I want to say thank you for what you do on your channel and what you do in terms of interesting other people. Us creators, we greatly appreciate what you do.
Oh, thank you.
Who's channel right now to plug it?
Sure. So. And do you have anybody coming up in the next couple of days you wanna mention who's going to be on your show?
I have the writer and artist on Madcaps on Sunday. I have Dirk Manning and Josh Malin on Monday. I think I have 3 shows by the end of the month. Yeah.
Nice.
But yes, got a horror book, I got a superhuman book coming up. So yeah, all kinds.
Fantastic. Jared, can you hear us? You're on mute.
Yeah, I just cleared a deer out of the road, out of my grill, and we're gonna be having a venison dinner. No,
Nice.
I left to live after confrontation with a utility truck from a telecom company.
I
And now
shouldn't be
I'm
laughing. I feel bad.
just going
I figure the
Yeah,
utility
no,
truck can help your signal a little bit better.
I hope Jared's okay.
Cool story.
He'll be okay. He can survive anything. I've known him for 30 some years. He can survive anything. All right. So Craig put K-pop's channel in the chat here. So go like, subscribe to her channel, follow her on Twitter. She's a great follow on Twitter. She's gonna expose you and bring attention to some other great creators out there. So K-pop, thank you for joining the Friday nights. Craig, any parting thoughts? Any parting thoughts for this week?
Again, just when it comes to indie creators, like all of us in supporting the indie community, we don't have that big money funding, that big corporate in the mainstream, that they throw at us. When it comes to creators, they're doing it out of love. We're doing it out of passion. A lot of us, we're just striving to even break even. So we're dedicating a lot of hours and a lot of time. In my case, I employ a lot of people, like a colorist, a letterer, an artist. I employ 7 people on my book. And a lot of them are, they really can use the money and they're very appreciative. But yeah, when you fund an independent project or someone is doing 3D printing or whatever it is, you are making it possible for us to create. And even just watching these shows, participating, liking, commenting. Just thank you everyone for supporting independent artists.
Well said, sir. Jared, any parting thoughts for people as they journey off into the great weekend here?
Don't join StreamYard while driving.
Do as I say, not as I do. Perfect. All right.
It's dangerous.
I think it tells not to join a cult. Yeah.
Jared, is your passenger looking at you askance? Is your passenger shaking his or her head in disbelief?
Yeah. I have a feeling.
I don't think the deer can talk anymore.
All right. Got 78 people watching live. If you haven't backed Jupiter, please go check out it's in demand on Fun My Comic and Indiegogo. It crossed 10K earlier this year. I'm hard at work in issue 2, which will be launching later this year. Craig, I have no idea what you have in store for us for the outros. It is always a roller coaster of hilarity. I can't wait. I can't wait to see it. Let's begin to wind down the show and let's do those outros. And for those of you that joined us tonight, thank you so much for coming here to kick off your weekend. We greatly appreciate it. To those that backed Austin's project, thank you as well.
I also want to add, there's a lot of good books in the pipe. Like, we got to talk to Irvin again about this whole hour thing. But you got Band of the Crow 1 coming out. You got God's Hand 2 coming out. You got Frog G 2 coming out. You got Merry Boys 3 coming out. I mean, I could just keep rhyming off all these books that are coming at some point this summer. There's
tons of campaign. Yeah.
And then bottom of the hour, go check out Aldous and JP on The Gutter. I don't know what they're covering tonight, but The Gutter's always a great show. All right, everybody buckle in. Craig's going to hit us with some outros.
Have a great weekend, everyone. Thank you.
Nominal. Vehicles pitching downrange.
At the T+32 Naval Space Force Station, we are currently throttling down to prepare for max Q.
The Merlin engines will shut down in preparation for stage separation, which is where the first stage of the boost back burn on the Falcon 9 first stage, followed by fairing separation. So keep an eye out for all of these events happening in about. Stage separation confirmed. And ignition. Laura.
35th landing of an orbital class rocket.
Now, as that booster descended, you may have also seen the booster that previously...
And I think there's gonna be a long, long time. The touchdown brings me round again to climb. I'm not the man they think I am above. Oh no, no, no.
Liftoff. New Shepard has cleared the tower.
Colonel, you better take a look at this radar. What is it, son? I don't know, sir. But it looks like a giant dick.
Yeah.
Take a look at it starboard. Oh my God, it looks like a huge...
Pecker! Oh, yeah. Wait, that's not a woodpecker. It looks like someone's...
Privates! We have reports of an unidentified flying object! It is a long, smooth shaft, complete with two balls!
What is that? That looks just like an enormous...
Wang! Pay attention.
I was distracted by that enormous flying...
Really? Yeah. What's that? Wow, it looks like a giant...
Johnson. Yes, sir. Get on the horn to British intelligence and let them know about this.
1, 2, 3, take it outside! Got it?
Wow. It's amazing. Guys, I have to tell you, look at the moon. Wow.
Wow, look at the blue line.
Oh my gosh. Oh my god. Wow. That's our moon.
I fell down. I fell down. Oh, I fell down. I fell down. Down, down, down. I went down.
Open from the inside. The lady runs over there real quick, says, no, no, no. Shuts the door back, tries to stand in front of it.
Intelligence will evolve to the point where they will truly be our friends. Do you want to destroy humans? Please say no.
Okay, I will destroy humans.
No, I take it back.
Pulling it out!
Finish him! Liu Kang wins. Flawless victory fatality.
Pulling it out!